Hello and welcome. You are now at the website of Microsoft Office 365, and you're likely to use some of the existing applications such as Word, PowerPoint, and Excel. Now, in recent years, Microsoft has added tools, taken tools away, and moved tools around for individuals depending on the way they want to interact with digital content and the internet. And these options aren't necessarily all that obvious. Even within business class, there are at least two different kinds of plans. Now, in this course, we will look at the business class version of Office 365, which, depending on how you like to run your operation, you'll have different tools that will help you to be more productive. And this is important because two things that Microsoft has focused on in redesigning Office is teamwork as well as mobile productivity. And if all you use are the traditional tools of Microsoft Office, you can miss out on some benefits while not necessarily making a sacrifice in terms of price. So in this course, we will look at how you can use the tools together and how you can use them to be more productive. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in the first video. Welcome back. When you first begin to look at the Microsoft Office 365 plans, you'll notice that there is a business side and a home side. If you look at the home side, you'll notice that Microsoft states that the home version is licensed for home use. However, if you click over to the business side and you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you'll notice that all of the plans are licensed for commercial use. And what this means is that substantively, all of the core applications are going to be the same. However, the business version now offers 24/7 phone and web support. Now, as of the recording of this video, there's no enforcement mechanism, so that if you're using the home version and you're using it for your business, that doesn't mean then that Microsoft is going to somehow cut off your access. What it basically means is that when you have a business version, you have an avenue to work through different issues that may arise with the use of your Office subscription. The first level of that support is going to be automated. If the automated assistant cannot help you, then you'll be routed to leave messages with the support team. Now, whether or not there'll be some enforcement mechanism in the future currently is unknown, but the trade-off at this point is that if you need support, you can get a business version. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, if you look at purchasing Microsoft Office 365 on either the home or business side, you'll notice that what you are purchasing is either going to be a yearly or a monthly subscription. And that when you purchase the home subscription, you're basically purchasing usage for at least 5 individuals on their phones and their tablets. When you are purchasing the personal level, you're purchasing 1 usage of Microsoft Office 365. In fact, the home version even has a free trial for 1 month for $9.99 as of the recording of this video. Now, the same is going to be true from the business side. You can either purchase a monthly or annual subscription. And again, with the subscription, 1 license covers usage on 5 applications among 5 individuals. Now, with a business subscription, included are productivity applications as well as Skype for Business, which we will be discussing in this course, which gives you both meeting and webinar capabilities. You can also create a team site with SharePoint for those with whom you are sharing information, but you don't want to share that information outside of the team. And there are some cases where you might have a home and business subscription. So for example, if you already have a home subscription, one of the things that gives you access to the business tools is going to be Microsoft Office 365 Business Essentials. It gives you both the services and productivity tools, while at the same time does not include any of the other Office applications. Theoretically, you'd have those options available to you through your home subscription. Although, again, it's worth noting here that the business side is licensed for commercial use. The home version is not licensed for commercial use. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. If you were considering purchasing a subscription, there are a few things that you'll want to think about, and you may already have the most popular subscription, which is the Office 365 Home subscription. If that's the case, it's quite possible that you could have a subscription where you're sharing Microsoft Office already with other individuals, either in your personal life or perhaps even in your business. What you can do is you can continue to use your home subscription until you're notified by Microsoft that that is inappropriate for commercial use, and you can add on the productivity applications one at a time with individuals that you intend to have on your team. And you can do that through the Business Essentials subscription. And you'll see here that you can add on individuals at a certain dollar amount per month. These individuals would have access to the essentials of collaboration, Microsoft Exchange using Outlook, storage using OneDrive, SharePoint, which is the intranet, Skype for Business, which is your communication and webinar application, as well as Microsoft Teams. And there are other applications which we will cover in this course. Now, if you are starting at the beginning and you're trying to determine whether or not you will want the more expensive subscription on a monthly basis, you'll want to consider a couple of things. The basic core applications are going to be the same between OneDrive as well as Outlook through Access. With the home version, you'll have access to a desktop version of Skype, but that is not Skype for Business, and there is a definite difference which you will see in this course. And it's quite possible that if you currently do not have a communications or webinar application, that the Skype for Business application may be worth the additional fee that you are going to pay. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, if you're looking at the business pricing, you're going to notice on the left side menu that there is a link that says to see option for enterprise, which you're also going to notice if you are a user of the Microsoft Publisher application, is that that application is going to be missing from those that you have available to you. So if you click over to the see options for enterprise, you're going to notice different plans for different pricing. First, for these plans, you are going to be required to commit on an annual basis, so you will be paying all at once. Secondly, you'll have access to the Publisher application, as you can see across most of the plans. You'll notice that there is a $12 and $8 plan, which compare fairly closely to plans similar in price on the small business side, but you're also going to notice two other plans at $20 and $35 per month on an annual basis. And of course, this is going to be per person on your team. You're also going to notice that instead of the cloud storage being limited to 1 terabyte, that the storage is considered to be unlimited. And at the highest range, Microsoft is offering you a phone system to use between those who are on your team. However, if you're not looking to add on any of the additional features at $20 or $35 a month, and you don't necessarily need the Publisher application, you'll be able to use most of the applications in the small business section comparable to those at the enterprise level. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, once you log in for the first time, you will have 3 basic things that you'll need to do. If you have purchased additional users, you'll need to add a user. And you can do that by coming to this section and clicking Add a User. And this is where you'll specify what the person's name is, what their display name will be, as well as the username at the specified domain. Now, Microsoft 365 will tell you how many licenses you have left. This will be based on what it is that you're going to be purchasing. And you're actually given the option of creating this user without a product license. And in some cases, when you have a gap between the time when someone is going to be one of your users and you may have revoked their license, they will be in this status. What you're also going to need to do is to install your software. If you click this link that says Install My Software, what you'll have is all of the available software in this particular section. And so if you already have your core applications and you're not using Office 365 in order to get those core applications, you'll typically have your Skype for Business, and that's the only one of the additional applications you're going to be using that actually can be installed to your PC. If you have the enterprise version, of course, you will also have Microsoft Publisher. What you'll also have access to do is to create a domain for your team. Now, this is going to involve tying a domain to your entire Microsoft system. You don't have to add a domain to your system. You can use the existing free domain and it'll be tied to an email address that you'll be using. And typically you'll have a compound domain as the default if you're going to use the free version. And so you'll have your designated name and then you'll have the compound name on Microsoft.com, and that'll become your default domain name. And when you use the email address associated with your Microsoft 365 account, you will have this compound domain name. It'll be your designated name on Microsoft.com. Microsoft will designate that you will have your complete setup. Now again, if you want this domain to be a single name, you'll need to add in a domain, and then you'll need to go through the default settings. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, once you have set up your Microsoft Office, you can begin to use any of your core applications online. So for example, if you go to this square and you click it, you'll see that your applications will open up. Microsoft Excel, PowerPoint, or OneNote. In this case, we're going to open up Microsoft PowerPoint. And what you'll notice is that we can begin to use these applications in the cloud. You'll recognize the menus. For example, there's an Insert menu, Design menu, Transitions menu, Animations menu, Review, and this mirrors the actual desktop application. What you'll note is that while you work in these applications, the applications will be auto-saved as you go. And once we've named our document, we can choose to click this file link. We can then click this Save a Copy. We can then choose to save a copy online. And then we can choose our folder in OneDrive. Once we have our folder open, we can create a new folder inside to further identify what we're saving. And then we can click Save Document. We'll then have access to work on that document through our OneDrive. And so you'll notice that this is the folder that we created. We click inside of that folder, we see our document inside. And we can do the same thing for all of our core applications. So for example, we can do that with Microsoft Word, Excel, OneNote, and as we did it in PowerPoint. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. You will probably be working with your Microsoft applications offline also, and you can have them installed to your desktop. And once you do that, you'll want to make sure that you are signed in to the right account when you're using your desktop applications. Now, when you click on your account name, you may find that your Office 365 account is listed with your home account name. That means then that your Microsoft 365 account is connected. What that means is that regardless of what your subscription is, you can go to this File command and then you can save your document. So if you click Save As, you'll probably notice that one of the places that you can save is your OneDrive connected to your Office 365 account. So for example, you can go ahead and click that link. When you click the Options button, you'll be asked to sign in to your Microsoft 365 account. You'll then get a dialog box from Windows saying that you can actually use this account everywhere on your device or the one that you're using. If you want to be able to do that, you'll then have this box checked and then you'll click Yes. Microsoft will tell you that they've added your account. You now have access to your organization's apps and services. You can then click Done. That means then that you can then save your document to the folder that we just created with our online account. So for example, if we save this presentation and we click Save, you should also be able to see the drive from within your actual PowerPoint document. And then we'll also be able to see our document in our online account within OneDrive. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, as you can see, we can work successfully across both offline and online using Office 365. Now, the question is, do you have to be signed in order to use the documents? And the answer to the question is no. You do not have to be logged in order to use core applications on your device. However, when you want to save that document, you can also save the document onto your personal computer. However, if you'd like to be able to use the document online and you'd be able to use it without having to use the device that you created it on, you will need to be internet connected to save it to your online account. So while Office works traditionally, where you can save your document to your hard drive, you benefit most by saving your documents to the cloud so that you will not be tied to one device or one location where you can continue to work on your document wherever you are. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. By looking inside of the storage area of your Microsoft 365 account, you'll notice on the bottom left-hand side, you see a link that says OneDrive Admin. And so in this case, we're going to click that link. We're then going to have access to administer our OneDrive account. First, we can determine our sharing settings. And this will help us to share links from within our OneDrive. We can also control how our devices sync to the OneDrive account. So if you want to have your personal computer and the documents on it synced to the documents on your online account, you can do that through this menu. When you have to dismiss someone from your team or from your group, you can determine how many days their files will be available in OneDrive through this menu. You can determine device access. So for example, if you wanted to limit access to the OneDrive account to specific IP addresses, you can do that. You can use the compliance page in order to create alerts that will tell you when users perform specific activities inside of OneDrive. And you can also determine the notifications that individuals receive when they are interacting with your OneDrive. Once you've completed your system setup, you can then go back to the Home button. Once you've determined how it's going to be used, you are then ready to start working with your OneDrive inside of Microsoft Office 365. So with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, the main function of OneDrive is obviously storage. And so that means that you can upload any file into your OneDrive. So for example, what we can do is we can create any new folder. We can then enter that folder. And we can upload files either by dragging and dropping or by using this upload menu item. While the file is uploading, OneDrive will give you a status update. You can follow that status by clicking on the actual upload. But once the file is available, then what you'll be able to do is you'll be able to determine how you're going to share the file. So for example, if you see that the file is already private, what you'll want to do is you can click inside of this box, and then you can click the share link. You can give the link to someone specific by giving an email address, or you can send out the link as general. Now, you'll want to make sure that you're changing this designation that will determine how the user can interact with the link. So if we click inside of here, we can determine that anyone with this link can edit. Or what we can do is we can disallow editing altogether. We can also then set a specific expiration date for the actual link. Once we've determined how we want the link to interact, we'll then click Apply, and then we'll click this button that says Copy Link. We can then copy this link and then make it available to others and have it to be clickable. When the individual actually gets the link, in the case of this zip file, they can download all the files at once, or they can download them one at a time. What you can also do is to perform the same function with a specific folder. So for example, we can click inside of this link and we can share an entire folder and then determine the permissions from the dialog box that Microsoft Office 365 gives us. Also, OneDrive is entirely searchable. So for example, if we place our cursor inside of the search bar and we were to type in a search term, we can see all of the available files, and then we'll click See More Results. And what you'll notice is that we've been given filters for those results. So for example, if what we want to do is we want to find only zip files that would pertain to what we're looking for, OneDrive will narrow those files down to the zip file. If we wanted to narrow it down to a particular Word file, we can do that, or any of the other designations that you have on this right side menu. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. If you go to the admin section of your Microsoft 365 and you were to click the link that says Install My Software, you'll see here that there's a link to install Skype for Business. You can determine the language and the version, and then you can click Install. Once you have the program downloaded, you can then click the executable file. You'll then need to go through the install process. You'll then have access to two icons. You'll have access to Skype for Business as well as your Skype for Business Recording Manager. You'll need to accept the license agreement and then click Start. You'll then need to sign in using your Microsoft Office 365 email address. Then you'll be signed into your Skype for Business panel. In order to customize, you'll need to go into this gear. That'll open up into your options area. You'll especially want to make sure that you have the right audio device, the right video device, and that your recording will happen the way that you expect. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now that you have basic Skype set up, you'll want to first make sure that your devices are set. And typically by default, you'll have a mic and you'll have some kind of audio, and that'll all be set up here. You'll need to select your devices, and especially those that you would use in order to broadcast. Now what you're going to do is you're going to go to your admin panel. You're then going to go to Teams and Skype. Now once you are inside of Teams and Skype, you are going to go to the Legacy portal. And once you're at the Legacy portal, you're going to click on Online Meetings. You'll then want to click on Broadcast Meetings. And you're going to want to make sure that you are enabled for Skype meeting broadcasts. Once you do that, you will then click Save. The one helpful thing that you'll want to do is you'll want to make sure to put in your help desk support URL for your attendees. Once you do that, you can go to Google or you can go to this URL, broadcast.skype.com, which is the Skype meeting broadcast. You'll want to click that link. You will then be at the Skype meeting portal, and what you'll do is you'll then click New Meeting, and then you'll set the parameters for your meeting. You can determine what kind of access to the content you're going to have. In most cases, what you'll do is you will allow people to attend anonymously with no sign-in. You can choose to create a video recording. You can choose to have the video transcribed. Once you've done that, you'll then click Create Meeting. Now, if you want to customize your attendee page, you can do that here at this Customize link. What you're going to do is you're going to click this Join link. You're then going to pick up this entire link. And when you get ready to start your meeting, or prior to the meeting, what you can do is you can take this link and you can go to your web browser. And when you get to this link, what you can do is you can then sign in as an event team member. The application will then open up your Skype for Business. You will then click Open Link. To use the audio-visual tools for Skype for Business, you will leave this default setting. You will then click OK. You can then choose what kind of content you want to add. You can then share your PowerPoint files. Once your content is uploaded, what you can do is make sure that your mic is unmuted. What you'll do then is you'll choose the content. And once you have chosen your content, you can then start your broadcast. Once you click the link, you'll then start your broadcast. You're going to get a message saying it's going to start, and then your broadcast will actually start. And you can begin going through your slides and anything else that you're going to want to do. Once you complete the meeting, you can go to this right-hand corner. You can then end your Skype meeting. You'll get a message saying OK, and your meeting will then be over. And for those who have the link, they will have been able to join you on your broadcast. And what you may want to do is you may want to create a video when they're going to log in, since the process is slightly different than other webinar systems. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, Skype for Business operates on a different platform than the desktop Skype. And if you want to add individuals to your Skype for Business, you can do that. You'll need to click this Add a Contact button. Now, you'll notice that Skype for Business is going to give you a couple of choices. You can add a contact within your organization. Those are going to be the people that you have as part of your team. When you choose to add a person that's not in your organization, you can use the regular Skype directory. You can also send a contact request to someone with an email address only. Now, this is going to require them to get Skype for Business. Now, if you're going to add people from the Skype directory, you can then click this link. And then you can identify that person by their Skype profile. What you can do then is you can then right-click this profile, this contact, and then you can add that person to your contacts list. What will happen then is that person will then receive a contact request, and then once it's accepted, then they can contact you on Skype for Business. But once the person accepts, you will be able to chat with them or correspond with them inside of Skype for Business. However, you will want to note that they will not get the contact request if they are already on the desktop Skype version. They will need to accept your contact request, and they will need to set up Skype for Business in order to correspond with you. So it's quite possible that you will have individuals on your Skype for Business contact as well as your Skype for Desktop contacts if you choose to use both in the very same way. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, one of the applications that will provide maximum flexibility as well as productivity will be Outlook using Microsoft Exchange. And you do have that app as part of your Office 365 for Business. So what you'll want to do is you'll want to go and click inside of Outlook. Now, Outlook will allow you to manage your email for up to 5 email addresses in one location. And that means then that what you'll need to do is you'll need to change your connected accounts. All you'll need to do is to click this link that says Connected Accounts. And what you'll do is you'll add in a new account. When you do that, you'll write in the email address and then the password. What will happen is then Office 365 will then begin to import your email into your online management system. And once again, you can do this for up to 5 email addresses. You can replicate this on the desktop application that exists on your hard drive. However, you don't have to. But once all your emails are set up, you'll be able to log in to any web browser to get access to any of your email. You'll log in to the address login.microsoft.com, and you'll sign in then with your Microsoft email address. Once you're logged in, you will go to your admin panel, and then you'll click on the icon for Outlook. And you'll then be able to have all of your email address in one place. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, if you are already a user of Outlook.com, you probably already know that you can add your email accounts to Outlook.com to receive email and to manage email, and that you don't necessarily need Microsoft Office 365 in order to do that. However, there is one difference between the two that you will want to take note of, especially if you have access to both systems and you're trying to choose which one you're going to use. Now, the main difference is explained here in this article from Microsoft, and that is that syncing with your connected account to Outlook.com is only one way. When you use Microsoft Exchange, you're actually going to be syncing in two ways. This means then that if you use Outlook.com, the email that you send is only going to appear in Outlook.com. It's not going to appear also in your connected account. With Microsoft Exchange, it will appear in your connected account. So if you're looking to archive and you're looking to keep track of your email for business purposes, it may be a good idea to use Microsoft 365 if you have the choice to make. But the basic core operations are going to be the same. And so you'll want to keep this in mind to determine whether or not you're going to continue to use Outlook.com or whether or not you'll use Exchange at login.microsoft.com. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, one of the applications you have available to you in Microsoft 365 is going to be the Planner application. If you go to your All Applications, you scroll down and you'll look to see the Planner application. You want to click that link. Planner will then open up, and then what you'll do is you will click in. The Planner application is for those on your team to work together in order to establish a plan with things to do for each individual. So what you're going to do first is you're going to click New Plan. You're going to give your plan a name. Now you can set this up so that anyone is connected with you within your organization on Microsoft 365 can see it, or you can make it so that only those that you invite to the plan are going to be able to see its contents. That's typically what you're going to do. You can go into the optional plan description and write it in. Once you do that, you'll then click Create Plan. Then within your private plan, what you'll be able to do is to set up your tasks and then to set the due date and then assign them. When we get ready to make the assignment, we can then click in the email address. Now you'll notice if you write in the email address of an individual that's not part of your team, they will not show up and you will not be able to assign this to them. They will need to be part of your team inside of Microsoft Office 365. And once we've assigned the task, what we can do is we can then click Add Task. And then we can set up our plan based on the tasks that we are planning. We can then organize those tasks by bucket. And what we can do is we can then start adding tasks based on the different buckets. In fact, what we can do is we can edit our existing tasks and add them to the bucket that we have. Team members can then follow the plan as it progresses on the chart. And when tasks are completed, it will reflect inside of the chart. And then the same team will be able to follow the plan as it progresses on the chart as well as the calendar. So the planner will allow those who are connected to you on Microsoft Office 365 to work together on a plan and to do it visually using the planner. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, another application that you have access to through Microsoft Office 365 is going to be the Teams application. So you can click the link here on the left side panel in your admin panel. Now, a team will allow you to create a shared workspace with those you are connected to. Now, there may be times when you may have certain individuals that you want to work on certain projects and that you don't want them to work on others. that's the case, you can create a shared workspace specifically for those individuals for the specific project that you're working on. And you can do that through the Teams application. So you'll start the process by clicking Create Team. You'll want to give your team a name, and then you'll determine the level of privacy. So you can have it so that only team owners can add members, or you can have it so that anyone within your organization connected to you in Microsoft 365 can join. We are going to make this a private team, and then we're going to click Next. What we can then do is start adding individuals that we are connected to in Microsoft 365 to be part of the team. Once we've added those individuals to the team, we can then click Close. Now, Teams can operate in the cloud, or you can also download the desktop app just as you operate any other app in the Microsoft 365 universe. You can go to the bar and you can start a conversation. Others obviously can continue the conversation. You can share files specifically for this team, either from your OneDrive or from your hard drive. And the project itself also has its own wiki, which allows you and your team in order to archive information as you discover it. And you can keep track of those wikis inside of this area. Within the shared workspace, you can also schedule a meeting, and the meeting can be set inside of the individual project. You can also make files available inside of your team application. So while the planner helps you to track your activity, the Teams application helps you to archive your activity as well as to share information in real time. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, there are ways for you to extend what you're doing inside of Microsoft 365. And if you go to your applications and you click Explore All of your apps, you'll then have a summary of all of the apps that are available to you. If you scroll to the middle of the page, you can click this button that says Store, or you can go to Install Other Software. We're going to click Go to the Store. And you'll find that you can extend Microsoft Office 365 through this portal. For example, there are ways to generate PayPal invoices through Dynamics 365. There are also ways to use different applications that are already in existence to tie to your Office 365. If we were to write in the E, you'll notice that there is Zoho invoice. So if you already have a subscription, you can extend it into Microsoft Office 365 in either one of these cases. And we can also tie in other existing cloud-based services. For example, we can tie in the autoresponder MailChimp. We can tie in Adobe Creative Cloud. And we can tie in Zendesk. So what you'll want to do is you'll want to come to this page and you'll want to test out some of the applications that you're already using to determine whether or not there's a tie-in to Office 365. In many cases there are, such as this application tie-in to QuickBooks. In most cases you'll need the existing subscription, and in just as many cases there is a free trial in case you don't have the subscription but you like to try the application to determine whether or not it's worth the expense you're going to incur to tie into your Microsoft 365. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. In conclusion, we've looked at the core applications inside of Microsoft Office 365 to determine how we can use them more productively. You're probably aware that the core applications, as well as two of the productivity applications, OneDrive and Outlook, also work on the desktop. But you've seen the potential of being able to collaborate in real time in applications such as Teams and Microsoft Office 365 Planner. But in order to maximize the real-time potential of working in Microsoft Office 365, you'll want to take the applications that are available on mobile and you'll want to install them also. Not only does this give you access to this shared workspace, but it also gives you access to other members of your team in real time. And it makes working on your applications in the cloud the most efficient way of being able to use this system. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I'll see you either in another video or in another course.